Welcome to Pagan Crafting. I'm your host, Kara. Today we're going to a little bit of look at art Sigil Magic, a Lucid Dream Recall. We're going to look a little bit of pencil, a little bit of inking, a little bit of Sharpie, a little bit of felt pen, and some paintbrush. That's right. So today, join me on Pagan Crafting and let us learn some art Sigil Magic. So today we're going to be using some Sigil worksheets. These Sigil worksheets can be found on my Etsy Pagan Crafting store or on my Patreon. As a member, you will receive these as an automatic membership. Now these different worksheets, I find that depending on what you want to go for. Now I feel like a little bit of a Celtic flair today, so I'm hoping that this will help me break down what I want to see here. So now let's follow down here. We're going to look at Lucid Dream Recall is the name of this sigil. We want to cross out the vowels and the double consonants. I'm going to go through this a little bit faster. Apologies, but if you wish to see how you can make the sigils in a few different ways, here is a video right here. That'll help you out a little bit faster, but this one we're just gonna fly through this today a little bit more here now, starting off with a circle, ending off with a line to finish off our sigil. Let us try it out. You can use straight lines or curved lines. Oh, I added an extra R, taking that one out and finishing with an M. Well, I find this one is boring as all heck, man. I've tried, and these extra spaces here that you can play with the design, and there's really not much I can do. I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling this. Normally I would have cut this out of the video, but I'm going to transfer this to my freestyle page instead. This is my workspace to break down each letter. So there's an L, there's a U, C, D. Okay, I spell lucid wrong because I'm dyslexic, but I know it's spelled with a C. LCDRM C R. Okay, there's my D, and I got my M in there. I'm gonna just play it out a little bit here. Now these are spaces that you can just evolve your design. It needs not to be any constriction. You can play it out however you want. Expand your design. Keep working it out. I'm so not feeling this. I don't know what it is. Usually after a couple times I like this. After a couple times, I'm like, yeah, this is it. But I have it in my head that I want to turn this design into a Celtic shape. This one sucks. I'm not feeling it. I don't care what you say. I'm not feeling these ones as well. Okay, I'm just going to correct my spelling. I do know how to spell it, but I'm dyslexic, so I like to spell it with an S, but I know it's with a C. Okay, so while my camera went off, I was playing around with some more ideas. Now this one I can turn into a Celtic knot. I don't know why I have it in my head, but I want to show you that a sigil can be in many different ways. Okay, there's my L. C, D, R, and my M is right here. So that's where these ones lay out. So now I have, because I was playing around where I can close off the edges and I can connect them in a way I can make them into a Celtic knot. Now this is my new sigil book that I made just a couple months ago, maybe a month ago. It says sigils on the book, and what I have here, the only things that are going in this book is sigils that are commissioned by me through my Patreons, through my Etsy, or yourself. And these are the sigils that I make on the show once a month that go with each spell jar or spell that I do. Now here is what we're going to start our next sigil. Now, taking this messy inspiration, I could have cut this out and I could have completely made another little side video and not even shown the process. But I wanted you to show that even people that I make sigils all the time. I don't care who you are, but sometimes some sigils just don't work out. And I wanted to show the process here, how much my sigils sucked in this episode. And I'm so embarrassed, to be honest, because I'm an artist and I'm a sigil maker and I love studying hieroglyphics and spells and different languages. And I love studying symbolism and Egyptianology and you name it. But oh my God, do these sigils suck in this episode? But I want to show you, and I'm cool with that, because I'm going to break it down into, I think because I have it in my head and I want to make a Celtic knot. So none of these were screaming out to me that I can make this into a knot. So now playing it out here. I'm going to draw it out here on the page. I'm going to see what I can lay out here, and I'm going to make the lines a little bit thicker. And as I thicken up the lines here, you'll see as the Celtic knot starts to transform and starts to take place. Ooh! I could draw Celtic knots for days and hours and hours and hours on end. It's in my blood. I got Irish descent on both sides of my family, my mother and father. My dad's mother is Irish and my mother's father is Irish. It's kind of a feisty mix, my friend. But I don't know. I could draw it forever. So I thought I'd show you today how we can change a sigil in many different forms. For me, I love Celtic work. I love drawing Celtic work. So I could draw it, like I said, over and over again for hours and hours and hours as I keep repeating, but it just makes me so happy. Now, with that said, I can hide my magical spells in my Celtic knots. So anything you can think of, anything you can draw, you can hide your sigils within it. Now I'm just gonna stylize up the knot work a little bit more here. Just rounding the edges a little bit. I don't want it too sharp in the corners. Just doing some traditional Celtic cornering. I don't know what it's called. Illumination. Yes. I'm loving this. Look at this. So it's funny how the other knot work, in my opinion, really sucked. I don't really know any other word I can think of. But because I saw the different pieces, I still see the L, I see the M, I see the different letterings that I have in here of the consonants. I can see them clearly as day as I'm working it. As I'm doing the lining, I'm thinking about Lucid Dream Recall. Lucid Dream Recall. Every time you're working on any different type of sigil, think about it over and over within your head. Grabbing a Sharpie, doing a little tattoo style of Celtic knotwork with a bolding around the edges. Looks so sharp. I wanted to add some moons, but I wasn't quite sure, so I photocopied my book and then I drew it on. So if you can see here, these actually are moons, but I did some line work on the inside not to create a bit of a commonality, but I wasn't quite sure. You know what? I'm gonna go for it. Let's do it. It's funny, I see a bit of a Haida influence. I don't know why with the moons. So I think the moons would be cool with lucid dreaming within this picture. The power up, the essence of the sigil. They don't need to be anything fancy, they just need to be a representation. When you're designing your sigils, you can design anything or else. What if you're designing a love sigil? I have some self-love. I want to invoke my self-love and awesomeness. Maybe you draw hearts around this. Now I'm just finishing stenciling up here the lining of the rest of the moons. I'm not going to do a bold lining around these because I want the sigil to pop out a little bit more. Now when designing and painting and doing something artistically with a sigil, you do not need to be an artist. Grab some crayons, grab some pencil crayons, grab some felt markers, grab a $1.50 watercolor paint set from the dollar store. You don't need to be an artist. Use the colors that invoke what you want. When I was drawing out my original drawings of my sigil, I want to be using an orange and magenta pen. So this is what inspired me for these colors. So I was thinking of a warm attraction. Orange is attraction. Yellow is intellect. The magenta is also a feeling, a psychic. It's a purple derivative, but it's also a love color because it has the pink influences as well. So it's kind of a cool place to be. Now I brought in the terracotta near the end of this for the fill color. And I feel the terracotta gives me a feeling of calmness, of an earthness, of grounding. And I need that while I'm lucid dreaming. Sometimes I don't know the difference. It's funny, I had a friend comment here recently on one of my videos, and they said that sometimes they feel they don't know the difference between when they're lucid dreaming, astral projection, past life regression, or is just common dreams. And 100% I feel that. And someone else commented it's the same thing. Did you know only 1% of the people in this planet lucid dreams naturally? Now I wound up adding an extra bold lining because I'm going to keep the inside of the sigil Celtic knot white. As always, when I do my sigil art magic, I like to use my moon water and power it up, baby. That's right. This sigil is brought to you by the wolf moon. That's right. Howl at the moon, baby. We got the wolf moon, the first full moon of 2023 is powering up this sigil, my friends. Bringing in the terracotta color. Now it's a grounding, earth feeling tone, but I feel it's going to be really, really, really good for me. What I'm going to be doing my astral projection is to make sure to bring me back. I have some pretty crazy lucid dreams, and I wake up in my dreams. I go to sleep in my dreams, I decide I don't want to be there anymore, so I go to sleep and I wake up in another area. So sometimes I just need to make sure I'm not going in too deep, too far, too light, and it's just a good color for me. I find green tones, earth tones, brown tones are going to be really good grounding colors. I find the terracotta colors just aesthetically pleasing, completely offset the colors. It looks so gorgeous in this sigil making. Now again, when you're making your art sigils, think of the colors. The terracotta color for you may not mean grounding at all. It could totally give you an off-putting taste in your mouth, and this is something that would not ground you at all. Do not use this color. I totally suggest that you find colors that are going to invoke what you need in your sigil making and your journey. Now just filling in a second coat and darkening it up here, I think it's popping out the colors the way I wish it to be. I'm gonna leave it white in the center of this just to slam it out and say, so mote it be. I just want to say thank you so very much, y'all, for hanging out with me. It has been so cool hanging out with you. Throw me down in the comments what kind of sigils that you like to make. Do you use color when you make your sigils? I would absolutely love to hear about it. If you like this video, throw me down a little like up. If you wish to see more videos like this and more sigils, ring that bell. And I will see you on the next video. Have yourself an absolutely magical day.